I am not lying when I tell you that I needed a couple minutes to catch my composure, to pour my whiskey, and to get my belt. The Florida Gators, for the first time since 2007, are heading to the national championship.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every damn day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts to cover the Florida Gators, who are heading to the national championship. Those Florida Gators. I am Brandon Olsen. Find me here every single day. Find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Find my written work on New York Giants on SI, and find my belt and snap, because the Florida Gators are going on. The Florida Gators are advancing to the national championship after beating the Auburn Tigers not once, but twice this year, definitively answering the question of who's the best team in the SEC. Is it the number one overall seed that won the SEC in the regular season? Or is it the SEC team that went through the SEC tournament, putting belt to ass every step of the way, that went to Auburn and beat Auburn, went to San Antonio and beat Auburn again, because they're like that. They're the best team in the country. They are. They've answered it. They did it. The Florida Gators are the best team in the country. And we're going to do it at least once. At least, I see 42 comments in the chat, 77 people in here, 2 minutes in. It's nuts. We'll get to you. We'll have some fun. But before we do that, the Florida Gators, led by, we're going to save him. 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 The Florida Gators, led by the most frustrating big man on the planet in Alex Condon. The Florida Gators, led by the man who showed up when it mattered most in Ruben Chinyelu. The Florida Gators, led by the best 3-and-D wing in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the most brolic guard in the country, Elijah Martin. The Florida Gators, led by America's sixth man, Thomas Houck. The Florida Gators, led by the most selfless big man in the country in Micah Hanlogton. The Florida Gators, led by the best guard off the bench in the country in Denzel Aberdeen. The Florida Gators, led by the best coach in the country, Todd Golden. The Florida Gators, led by the best player in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the best guard in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the Florida Gators' first team All-American. The Florida Gators, led by the baddest man on the planet with ice-cold water in his veins, Walter Clayton, with 34 points. They are headed to the national championship for the first time in almost 2 decades. Bruce Pearl, you still ain't did it. The Florida Gators, Todd Golden, they did 79-73, outscoring Auburn 41-27 in the second half. They did it. The Florida Gators are going on to the national championship. They're doing it. The Florida Gators are going on. They're doing it. You didn't hear the bell? You didn't hear the bell? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Goddamn thing if you didn't hear the bell, because we got it. No, I threw it on the ground, but we got it. We'll snap the bell because the Florida Gators are going on. Incredible win. Incredible game. 79-73 over the number one team in the country. The Florida Gators did it. The best damn team in the country. The most talented team in the country. They did it. They did it. If you're an Auburn fan and you're in here, guess what? Up yours. The Florida Gators are going on. They're just that damn good. You lost to them the first time. And you said it was a fluke. What was it that Zach Blackerby said on our crossover? Oh, well, if that game 2 months ago means that much to you, what about this game tonight? Because it meant a hell of a lot more to my team, to my program, to my listeners, to me. It meant a hell of a lot more. And what happened? They came out there and they won again. Neutral site, your house, doesn't matter. Gators beating Auburn. It doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't. Florida Gators, best team in the country, beating the Auburn Tigers again. Again. Walter Clayton Jr., the coldest man on the planet. 5 for 8 from 3. 7 for 7 from the free throw line. 34 points. Florida Gators, moving on. I see you all in the chat. Just know I love you so much, all of you. I love you. Florida Gators going on. That's it. That's it. Florida Gators going on. After what was a dominant first half by Janai Broome, he was absolutely clamped in the second half. Okay? Absolutely clamped. That's it. Sean, I see you. I'm going to post it up in there. Because it's deserved. And if you haven't, if you're listening to this on audio after we're done going live, Sean Winburn, I got you, buddy. Don't worry. You're going to get it. The Florida Gators, led by the best damn Locked On podcaster in the nation, are going to the national championship. That's right, Duval T, 5 down, 1 to go. 1 to go, and I don't know if there's ever been a team that's had to fight through more and claw through more and have a harder path to the national championship than the Florida Gators, but they're there. They're there, okay? They play on Monday for the national championship, okay? That's it. That's the answer to the GOAT talking about Alabama football. Still way better than Florida Gators football. Well, guess what? It's basketball season. You know why you're not talking about it? Because your team got stomped by Florida twice, and then your team got annihilated by Duke. Why don't you sit down, pipsqueak? This is our time now. Florida Gators run the SEC in basketball now. It's ours. You got a problem with it? You disagree with it? Too damn bad. Line it up and beat them on the court because you haven't been able to do it in the SEC. The Florida Gators won. They're winning. They're going on to the national championship on Monday. That's it. For the first time since 2007, I was 12. I was 12 the last time the Florida Gators made it. That's what we're talking about. We are here. Kenny Stevenson, I love you, said, Gator boys stay hot, baby, with the super chat. Here we go. You put the super chat, you get thrown up in there. The Gator boys stay hot. The Gator boys stay putting belt to ass. In fact, hold on. Where is it? We're doing it. I don't remember who asked the question for when there's a big moment or when there's a big game or anything like that. I don't remember who asked it a little while back, but I'll tell you what. I told you guys what we had, right? I told you guys what we would have. And what we would have is this Gengar chain, right? That's what we're doing. We're putting the Gengar chain on. And if you don't remember the reasoning for the Gengar chain, it's because things are getting real scary in Gainesville. The Gators are going on to the national championship to face either Duke or Houston. Two very good teams. And look, I'm not going to lie. The first half of this game was not awesome. And yes, Gorilla Toe said, join the Discord, join the subtext, join whatever the hell you want to join. But join the Florida Gators on Monday night as they play for the national championship. Leandre, you said, my coworker said Florida was going to lose. Well, guess what? Guess what? So did mine. Because if you recall, Thursday night, we did a crossover, right? We did a crossover on Thursday night. It was myself, Brandon Olsen, the host of Locked On Gators. It was Zach Blackerby. We got Girthy Rob said, talk your talk, Brandon Gator boys, stay hot, because they do. They do that. We had Zach Blackerby of Locked On Auburn. We had Isaac Shade of Locked On College Basketball. We had Andy Patton of Locked On College Basketball. And when we went through it all, what happened? Who picked who to win? Brandon Olsen picked the Florida Gators to win for the second time. Kenny Stevenson said, how do I join? The links in the description below for both the subtext, the insider program is joinsubtext.com/LockedOnGators. The Discord link is also in the bottom. But Brandon Olsen picked the Florida Gators to win this game. Again. Zach Blackerby picked the Auburn Tigers to win this game. Isaac Shade picked the Auburn Tigers to win this game. Andy Patton picked the Auburn Tigers to win this game, and all three of them were wrong because the Florida Gators did it. That's who did it. Them Gator boys did it. The team that stays hot did it, right? That's who did it. That's who did it. That's who won. That's who made it through. Never forget that there was one host in that roundtable of 4 people to pick the Florida Gators. And there's one host that walked away from that roundtable being right. The Florida Gators host. That's right. That's who did it. I see you in the chat. I love you. I love you. We are going to get to the chat. Jory, I hope I make big money on Monday too. Don't forget, I have Florida at plus 6,000 before the year to win the national championship. Don't forget that. In fact, I'll remind you of it in a second. The college basketball championship is here. If you're a Florida Gators fan. If you're a Florida Gators fan, it's here. If you're not a Florida Gators fan, well, your team's either playing for the championship or playing to get into the championship, or your team's sitting on their ass at home watching the Florida Gators get it done, because that's what they do. When you want to go to FanDuel and make some more money, when you place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if you win. And if the Florida Gators win the national championship, I'm not going to tell you how much money I put on it, because that's pocket watching. But I will tell you, if you do not remember, I got the Florida Gators at plus 6,000 before the season to win the national championship. Did it. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. Every day we are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. And I am damn happy about it. The Florida Gators are going on to the national championship because they are the best team in the country, right? Only 15 likes. Hit the likes. Go ahead. Hit the likes. Hit the likes. Good. Hit the likes if you want. Just know one thing. The Florida Gators are the best team in the country. Simple as that. Simple as that. The Florida Gators are the best team in the country. That's it. And look, I understand anything that you want to complain about the refs, right? I understand. Oh, hold on. Don't let Chris Gordy off the hook, Brandon. The host of Locked On SEC picked Auburn to win this game. He picked Texas A&M to win the SEC tournament. Please don't let him pick the Gators to win the national championship. He's going to. He's probably going to, just because he'll pick SEC over any other conference. But I'll let him know. Okay? I'll let him know. I don't even remember what I was. Oh, the refs. Thank you. For anybody that wants to complain about the refs, here's the thing. You're entitled to complain about the refs. You are absolutely allowed to complain about the refs. Hold on. Sorry. You are absolutely allowed to complain about the refs. You can complain about how Janai Broom had He ended with 3 personal fouls called, but he didn't get a personal foul called until there were just a few minutes left. And he plowed through Alex Condon. Outside of that, he had none. Interesting factoid. Janai Broom. In the first half, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in the first half, Auburn players kept doing, and Wyatt Langford Jr. just hit a home run. Look at that. To take the lead? To take the lead. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Auburn players in the first half kept, every time they got like a good stop, whether it was forcing a turnover or a blocked shot, ball goes out of bounds, whatever, clock stoppage, Auburn players would draw the box and then do the thumbs down. And it's fantastic because that same box that Janai Broom drew is the same one that the Florida Gators stuffed his ass in the second half. It's as simple as that. Like they built the box, that's fine. But Florida stuffed them in there. Florida, the best team in the country, stuffed them in there. And also, I want everybody in the chat. I don't care if you want to throw a Gator up. I don't care if you want to throw a 100 up. I don't care what you want to throw up, okay? But I need everybody in the chat to throw up, I will say, three emojis, okay? 3 emojis. I need 1 for Walter Clayton Jr. I need 1 for Elijah Martin. And I need 1 for Ruben Chinilu. I need 3 because those are the 3 guys that put in work for this game. And look, Ruben Chinilu's stat line is not amazing, right? He had 5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, an assist, whatever you want to say. Like you could say whatever you want about it, right? It wasn't an amazing stat line. But Ruben Chinilu in the second half had multiple possessions where he disrupted the passing lane. He got his hands up. He had 2 steals. He had, I think, 2 or 3 more deflections. Like, Ruben Chinilu was out there deflecting passes. Ruben Chinilu said, all right, Janai, come on, try to back me down and watch what happens. Try to do it and watch what happens. Okay? And it didn't work. Okay? Ruben Chinilu, similar. Ruben Chinilu, Alex Condon held Janai Broom to a similar stat line that he had the first time they played. And I'll tell you what, if he could hit free throws, that game would be pretty different, right? Just saying, both teams shot about 70%, but he shot 3 for 7, which is so we will say that. Thomas Houck also shot 3 for 7, which is crazy considering he's like an 82% free throw shooter. But I love the 3 emojis there for it because I do think they deserve it, right? Walter Clayton Jr., Tennessee still beat Florida, and Florida beat that ass 2 times, so shut the hell up. Idiot. Walter Clayton Jr., 34 points. Just 2 assists, which is fine because he was just getting buckets. That's it. And look, I think it's that much more impressive that it was so clear Auburn was throwing everything they humanly could throw at Walter Clayton Jr., and he was still getting buckets. Buckets, right? Elijah Martin. I mean, the slam dunk that just felt like a bit of a dagger, right? Like not like the dagger, but it felt like a dagger. And Ruben Chinilu, his multiple just great defensive plays, hustle plays on offensive rebounds. Auburn had 6 offensive rebounds at halftime, and Auburn finished with 9 offensive rebounds. Auburn had 3 offensive rebounds in the second half, right? Auburn had 3 offensive rebounds in the second half. Florida had 7. Okay. Both teams got really sloppy with turnovers. And Florida, I feel like Florida kind of wanted that. Like they were like, hey, like Auburn's not going to win a sloppy game. Auburn needs to play clean to win. Florida beat Tennessee by 30, D, actually. Tennessee beat Florida by 20. Florida beat Tennessee by 30. I don't think y'all realize how hard it is to win a game that clearly ref for the other team to win. I don't care about it. Again, like I'm saying, I don't like the refs. I don't think they did a good job. I think they just suck. I'm going to be honest. I think they're just really awful at their profession. And look, Janai Broom was always a guy that said, look, he's going to get his looks. He's going to get his shots. He's going to make a lot of them too. But just wear him down. Work him out. Make him run through screens. Make him do everything. And they did. And yeah, like Sensei Tank mentioned, Florida at the half was 4 for 10 from 3. They shot 4 for 11 in the second half, whereas Auburn was 4 for, I think it was 13 from 3. And then in the second half, they shot 3 for 12 from 3. Florida made 21 free throws. Auburn made 16. And I will also say this about the refs. I'm in the Locked On Auburn Discord. I go in there, I talk trash, I make fun of them, whatever. We bicker. If Florida loses a game, they talk trash. When Florida was losing to Texas Tech, they tagged me to talk trash. And then, of course, things didn't go their way. So I'm in an Auburn Discord, and I'm in multiple Florida group chats. And it is so funny to me that both sides were just complaining the whole time about officiating. Both sides were. And look, officiating sucks. That's why I always say I don't care to complain about officiating. I don't care. I don't give a damn about if the refs are good or bad. Play better to make them a non-factor. And that's what Florida did. Right? I think officiating was bad on both sides. I don't think it was as skewed as many other people think. I think what it was that Florida Gators fans felt like Janai Broome was doing a lot of fouling, and it's like you have to accept and you have to recognize he's a superstar. He's not getting that. He's not getting those ticky-tacky calls. Like, he's got to brutally foul someone to get a call. And I think that's what it was for Florida fans. That's what most of the complaints I saw were complaining about Janai Broome. But like, you had Chaney Johnson in foul trouble the whole time. Tahad Pettiford in foul trouble, which, by the way, him going 1 for 6 and 0 for 4 from 3 was amazing. Okay. Florida played damn good defense. Tawan, what's up, buddy? Said I didn't give you your props on your analysis before this game, Brandon. He was in your bag the other day just to give you props. Great job. Appreciate you, Juan. I love you, buddy. But the Florida Gators are going to the championship. I kind of feel like Todd Golden started to rely too much on Clayton in the half-court set tonight. Look, I understand what you're saying, Rob. I do. I just think it was because Walt was unstoppable tonight. There was no other way to describe how Walter Clayton Jr. played, right? He was just unstoppable. Don't forget, we got the Gengar chain because things are getting scary. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to do that because the Florida Gators belt to ass over the Auburn Tigers for the second time. Okay? And we're going to do this one more time. If Florida wins on Monday, we will do this again. But this may be, and as far as going live, we're going live win or lose. Don't worry about that. I'm talking about a very specific thing that we've been doing, right? We're going to do this one more time. One more. It might be our last time of the season because we only do this after wins. We only do this after big wins, after meaningful wins. And this is a meaningful win. So if you would like to just take a deep breath, if you would like to get settled in, if you would like to if you want to go ahead, take a drink, I'll take a drink with you. There we go. All right, if you'd like to do that, go ahead. But we got one more in us right here, right? One more in us right here. The Florida Gators, led by the best coach in the country, Todd Golden. The Florida Gators, led by the Aussie down low, Alex Condon. The Florida Gators, led by the best transfer portal addition in the front court this year, because Florida had quite a few of them, Ruben Chinyelu. The Florida Gators, led by the best 3-and-D wing in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the best transfer portal addition this year, period, in Elijah Martin, and the first player to start for 2 Final Four teams in Elijah Martin. The Florida Gators, led by America's 6th man, Thomas Houck. The Florida Gators, led by the most selfless big man in the country, Micah Hanlogton. The Florida Gators, led by the best bench guard in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the best player in the country. The Florida Gators, led by the 34-point scorer tonight. The Florida Gators, led by the baddest man on the planet. The Florida Gators, led by the most clutch human being to ever live. The Florida Gators, led by the Florida Gators first team All-American. And the Florida Gators, led by the greatest Florida Gators basketball player of all time, Walter Clayton Jr., are headed to the national championship to face either Duke or Houston. But my God, we're going to be there live immediately after, no matter what happens. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I am Brandon Olsen. This is Locked On Gators. We're here every damn day talking about the best basketball team in the country, the Florida Gators. And we will see you all next time.